I am Mr. Sandeep Dattatreya Kardile, M.Pharm Pharmaceutics, lecturer, Mola Rural Institute of Pharmacy, Sonai, and I am giving presentation on Medicinal and Toilet Preparation Act 1955, Part 2. First of all, contents: manufacture in bonded laboratories, structures of the bonded manufactory, verification and storage of alcohol, manufacturing outside bond, that is non-bonded manufacturing, and lastly offenses and penalties. Firstly, manufacture in bonded laboratories. The license is issued from Office of the Excise Commissioner of the state for alcohol. Application should be made 2 months in advance prior to date of manufacturing along with a requisite fee as indicated. The application should include: first, name, addresses and site of bonded laboratory if it is a firm name, and address of every partner of the firm; if it is a company, its registered name, address of the managing director and directors. Second, capital to be invested for bonded appreciation. Third, number and description of apparatus, machinery, steel and maximum amount of alcohol to remain at one time. Fourth, approximate date of starting manufacturing, requirement of excise officer either whole time or part time. 5. List of preparations containing alcohol, license number issued by licensing authority under DCA. 6. Elevation plan, plan of different rooms, detail of doors and windows and quarters for excise staff are to be provided. 7th, in case of firm, partnership deal, and in case of companies, list of association and latest balance sheet of the company. Structure of the bonded manufactory. How should be the structure of bonded manufactory? First, a separate plain spirit store is required to be provided in the bonded premises. Second, there should be only one entrance to the laboratory, only one door for each of its compartments, a separate room for manufacturing of medicinal preparations, one or more rooms for storage, a separate room for manufacturing of toilet preparations and their storage, a room for excise officer in charge near the entrance with furniture. Third, the bonded laboratory should be opened and closed in presence of excise officer in charge and secured with excise ticket locks. Fourth, every window in the bonded laboratory should be provided with iron rods not less than 19 mm in thickness, set apart at a distance of not more than 102 mm. 5. The iron rods should be embodied in brick construction to a depth of 51 mm at each end. 6. The windows should be covered from inside with strong wire netting, the aperture of which should not exceed 25 mm in diameter. 7. Each room in bonded laboratory should have a board indicating name and a serial number of the room and the purpose for which it is used, painted in oil color. 8. The pipes from sinks in the laboratory should be connected to closed drainage, ultimately forming part of general drainage system. 9. The gas and electric supply should be arranged in such a way that they are cut off at the end of day's work from one place. Then all the regulators or switches should be securely locked. Permanent vessels in bonded laboratory should bear the serial number and statement of full capacity of the vessel. The spirit should be obtained from the spirit warehouse approved by the excise commissioner. The indent should be sent in duplicate in prescribed form, countersigned by the officer in charge of the laboratory. Alcohol is issued in duly sealed containers and under intimation of the excise officer concerned. No wastage during transshipment is permissible, and for any loss due to negligence of the manufacturer, excise duty has to be paid. Verification and storage of alcohol. On its arrival in bonded laboratory, alcohol is measured in volume and strength. Entries are made in register and stored in spirit store room under excise lock with perfect coordination between excise officer in charge and officer of manufacturing unit. The alcohol is issued from spirit store from time to time in accordance with the procedure laid down under rules. Issue of alcohol from store. The manufacturer should calculate requirement of alcohol and hand it over to the excise officer. All ingredients should be kept ready, and on receipt of alcohol the solvent should be mixed immediately in presence of excise officer. Then the percolators or other vessels containing alcohol during the process of manufacturing and storage should be labeled with the name of the product, batch number, description, quantity of alcohol used, date of manufacture, and quantity of preparation removed. The separation should be immediately removed to the store, measured and stored in vessels provided, entered in register, and given a batch number. Issue from bonded laboratories. The manufacturer makes application to the excise officer and pays excise duty, or it can be adjusted against any advance duty paid by him. Only on payment of calculated duty, the goods containing alcohol and narcotic drugs are permitted to be taken out of bonded laboratory by the excise officer. Exemptions. The preparations supplied to government hospitals, dispensaries, and charitable hospitals and institutions which supply medicines to poor as certified by the district medical officer are exempted from payment of excise duties. Ayurvedic and homeopathic preparations. Ayurvedic preparations are of two types. First, self-generated alcohol containing preparations like asavas and aristas. Second, prepared by distillation or addition of alcohol. Third, self-generating preparation containing alcohol were earlier exempted from excise duty. However, now all such preparations are chargeable with 4% ad valorem excise duty. Those with more than 2% self-generated alcohol and being capable of consumed as a beverage are charged duty of 4% ad valorem. Ayurvedic practitioners are exempted from license from excise authorities if the samples are being used for their own patients. However, the excise officer should be allowed to take sample if required. 5. For homeopathic preparations capable of consumption as ordinary alcoholic beverages, the excise duty of 4% ad valorem is required to be paid. Manufacturing outside bond or non-bonded manufacturing. The manufacturing and sale operations are restricted only between sunrise and sunset, and days and hours are fixed by the Excise Commissioner. Essential requirements of manufactory are as follows. First, separate laboratory, spirit store and finished store. Second, only one entrance to non-bonded manufactory and one door each to laboratory, spirit store and finished store. Third, the iron bars in windows should not be less than 19 mm in thickness, set not more than 102 mm apart and fixed in brick construction to the depth of not less than 51 mm. The aperture of wire netting to the window should not exceed 25 mm in diameter. Fourth, a separate spirit store for rectified spirit purchased at the specified duty. 5. All pipes from wash basins and sinks are connected to closed drainage forming part of general drainage system. 6. All electric and gas connections should be well secured with one cutoff switch. Then the state government may relax conditions of requirements of infrastructure if alcohol consumption is less. Alcohol is procured by the manufacturer after payment of excise duty. The form for payment of duty is filled up in triplicate. One copy is to be given to spirit warehouse keeper, second to officer in charge, and third to be retained by the licensee. The duty for alcohol purchased is to be paid to government treasury and challan enclosed. Thereafter, the treasury officer sends an advice to officer in charge. Sealed containers are required to be used for procurement and storage of alcohol. The alcohol purchased cannot be resold. Manufacturing, storage, and sale of the preparations should be carried out only in the licensed premises. Batch number should be given and separate finish store is provided for alcoholic products. All necessary entries of the operations carried out are mentioned in the stock register and the same should be made available for inspection by the excise officer and drug control authority. Excise officer may take up to 10% of the preparation for analysis and the same is sent to the chemical examiner. If the chemical examiner of government gives the report that alcohol content is more than what is claimed, the penalty charged is 10 times or maximum of rupees 2000 per batch. If this is frequently done by manufacturer, license may be withdrawn. Then lastly, offences and penalties for the Act MTP Act 1955. First, for the contravention of the provisions of the Act or evasion of excise duties or failure to supply required information, punishment is imprisonment for 6 months with or without fine. Second, the court may order seizure of dutiable goods and handing it over to the government. Third, the owner of the land should inform the magistrate, excise officer or police or land revenue officer of any illegal manufacturing taking place in his or her place. Otherwise, he or she is liable for imprisonment up to 6 months with or without fine. Any officer without reasonable ground detaining the good with an intention of harassment or torture may be fined up to rupees 2000. Fifth, any officer who refuses to perform duties unless he has obtained permission to withdraw shall be punishable with 3 months imprisonment with or without fine. The central government may order that from a specified date no person shall engage in production of dutiable goods or part thereof. Any officer authorized by the excise commissioner shall have free access at all reasonable times to any licensed premises for thorough inspection. If obstructed to discharge of duties of the officer, there is provision for penalty of rupees 500. Any authorized excise officer may arrest any person whom he or she has a reason to believe that the person has violated provisions of the Act and is liable to be punished under this Act. Lastly, thank you.